We're exploring some of the countryside in Hong Kong and have gone up the hill to this village to experience an authentic dim sum restaurant. So there's the sign. This style of self-serve dim sum closely resembles the way that dim sum was originally served back in tea houses.
So we just got to this restaurant and it's very interesting. You go to different rooms of the building and pick the food you want, and then you bring it back to your table, and then they know how to charge you based on the dishes that you leave on your table when you're done. Here's what they came back with on their second trip up there. So this, in one of the rooms you could get these vegetables, and then they found another room that had these baskets with different dim sum. So those look like meatballs. I'm not sure what those are called. And what do you think's in those white things? Sausage. And that's congee, which I think is rice soup. Beautiful spot to sit, overlooking the mountainside. Calliandra grandiflora flowers, otherwise known as red powder puffs. And we found another staircase down into the village. And those look like probably, what kind of leaves are those? Banana leaves? See any bananas?
We're exploring the village up here for a little bit before we head back down.
This is kind of cool. Reminds me of Italy. Doesn't it remind you of Italy? Can you go that way?
Hello. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Get ready for Canada. I'm come from USA. All right.
They're each going a different way. Which way should I go? You're probably right.
No, it looks fun.
Dad's going back the way we came. Wow. Little oranges. Wow.
There is a walking trail to get us down the mountain, so we've decided to take that rather than just calling a cab. We've happened upon an area with some gardens that locals are maintaining.
This is so cool. Wow. Wow. Those are rice terraces?
Well, rice been growing
Well,
right now.
it looked like they were growing like cilantro and parsley.
What do you guys think?
There's some bananas. Very cool. Back to civilization shortly.
We've traveled back over to Hong Kong Island and we're at the Botanical Gardens. They also have some zoo enclosures here. There's some different varieties of monkeys, and I think it's an ape. I'm not sure what this guy is. I'm gonna have to Google him.
Well, now you can see more.
Dad's missing it. You got it? You get that?
Look at this guy. He's like something out of a movie.
Wow.
On a subway from the airport, we flew from Manila to Taiwan this morning, and now we're taking the Airport Express subway into the heart of Taipei where our hotel is.
Yeah. Interesting.
Do you want to take my picture standing there?
Sure.
Can you take it?
Okay. You know, Taiwan kind of reminds me so far of Winnipeg, believe it or not. And this area is kind of like Assiniboine Park, except for there's a giant Taiwanese temple.
Wow, it's massive. This is really neat, eh? This is probably the best temple on this trip that we've been to. Like when you get up here, it's just like very majestic and the view is just pretty. It just shows, yeah, like you don't realize how big it is until you get up here.
Futuristic. Like, have you seen the Hunger Games?
Yeah. When you see the people in comparison, I guess.
Where the door is?
Yeah, when you were at the top of the staircase too. Yeah. Wow. Huh. And this room is all some kind of fancy marble. The changing of the guard. Madeline has found us some street food to try that is Michelin star rated. It's a savory crepe burrito. You get handed a number and you wait your turn. When it's your turn, you tell them how many you want. So what kind of filling is in it? It's like crepe, is it?
It's a burrito.
Let me see. Can't see it. The street food vendors here are a never-ending supply, and everything we tasted amazing. This outdoor restaurant we came upon had the best dumplings. This is the area near our hotel, and we're going to go find some more food.
I think you can ask for those statements.
Fresh made soy milk, and these are egg wraps with ham and egg. I don't know what the outside is, some kind of pastry. And that's a steamed bun with ham and egg. And this was 350 Taiwanese dollars. Oh.
So about $12.
We're back out on another walk, and we're doing a little bit of exploring along the way to go see the Taipei Tower. Yeah.
Look at the lanterns in the tree. Can you make a phone call back home?
Oh yeah. Old fashioned. This skyscraper is one of the tallest buildings in the world and has 101 floors. We've arrived to the Taipei Zoo, one of Asia's largest zoos. It's $4 admission. Huge pens for the animals. So far in this zoo, we feel like we're the animal in the enclosure. It's very hard to find the animals because their enclosures are so large, which is great for the animals. But for the zoo visitor, it's much harder to find them. What did you find? A bear?
A bear.
Oh. Wow. And here we've come to the monkey enclosure. In 2008, China gifted Taiwan 2 giant pandas. Super interesting to watch these guys. We're in the zoo gift shop and I have to get a video clip of how nice these stuffed animals are. They're pretty neat. Very detailed. Yeah.
Handcrafted. Show them the funky bird.
And look at this guy. This enclosure area reminds me of the Leaf in Winnipeg. Something may have escaped its cage. Here's a video for Mitchell. They're preparing the food for the animals. Behind the scenes. It's the most interactive, kind of immersive zoo. Like you feel like you're really in the jungle. Back in the city, and we're gonna find some supper at a night market. What's she getting?
I don't know if I have something to go.
Oh, wow. What are they? Oh.
Or counting up.
I don't know. We just had our last Taiwanese breakfast and we are gonna miss Taiwan. Taipei has been awesome. When we first arrived at the airport, someone had a sign that said, "Your first time to Taiwan." Something like, "Welcome to the vibe." And we were like, what? And then as we started exploring Taiwan, we were like, oh yeah, it is a vibe here. It really is.
It was. How would you explain Taiwan, Madeline?
Foodie's paradise.
It had different elements, like New York Times Square element, and the markets were really fun. It's a good mix of merchandise and food, and really affordable prices. So, of course, you can have more fun when your dollar goes farther. Breakfast was $2 for our biscuit, egg, and ham omelet. And the biscuit was like a sub bun, but flattened. And it didn't taste like a sub bun though. It tasted like biscuit. And we had warm soy milk, freshly made this morning. Now we're on our way to get on the Airport Express transit line. The trip just keeps getting better and better. Every place we've gone to, we like a bit more than the last place. This had elements of a lot of the places we've been to, and we like that the skyscrapers aren't as big, so the buildings are shorter. You don't feel as claustrophobic here. Hong Kong was super busy, like constant buses going by and traffic noise. This is just a bit quieter. Most of the shopping, clothing or gift items, were half the price here with our Canadian dollar compared to any of the other places we went to. Especially Japan, of course. At least probably a third the cost of what you would pay in Japan for those items, half the price of what you pay in Hong Kong. So really worth the trip to come to Taiwan. Madeline says instead of going back to Hong Kong, which was her favorite until we got here, she would come to Taiwan.
Because we changed our itinerary, we're on a flight back to Manila because we have to catch our flight to Vietnam from there. I'm doing a voiceover because I was kind of speechless at the time.
It's been 18 minutes since we were supposed to land, and they aborted the landing because it was too windy. Too much of a tailwind.
We've been in the air for 25 minutes with no new information from the pilot. We've been over the water for quite a while, but it looks like we're going to come in for landing now. Above water again. Well, we're approaching land, but we're wondering if we're still going to land in Manila or if we're landing somewhere else. And it seems like we might be coming down to try and land again. We are thankful to be landing safe and sound. We are back in Manila for a few days and then we will catch our flight to Vietnam. I gotta say, Manila is not one of our favorite places in the world, honestly, but we're here to catch our flight to Vietnam, so we're gonna make the best of it while we're here. This is Manila's main historic Catholic cathedral. This church went through about 8 times where it was reconstructed, mostly from earthquakes, but also during the Second World War it was bombed. This area here is part of Casa Manila. It's a house that you can tour that features what the lifestyle was like for affluent Filipinos in the late Spanish colonial period. We ended up finding a quaint, quiet spot at the bottom of these stairs to sit and have a nice lunch. We've walked a little bit further to Fort Santiago. There is lots of security presence in this area. The fort was built in 1571. Fort Santiago has been the headquarters of multiple armies over the centuries. Spanish, Britain, American, and Japanese occupation forces used the fort as their headquarters and prison. Our hotel is on the border of the BGC area and the residential area. Both vehicle and pedestrian traffic here is insane.
Trying to get some footage.
Traffic gridlock often makes it faster to walk from one end of the street to the next. There's no stop signs in this area. It's just every man for himself trying to move. And we're finishing off our last day in Manila with a trip to the Venice Grand Canal Mall. A very nice atmosphere for a shopping center. Tomorrow night we catch our flight to Vietnam.